Good day, Junior Tickies. I'm Mrs. Brumacombe, and we are going to look at companies where the focus now is going to be on directors. Now, before we start with the activity, some basics. Directors are those people appointed by the shareholders. Now, the shareholders are the owners of the company, but they don't run the company. The people that runs the company is called directors. It is important to understand that we get executive directors and non-executive. Make sure that you know what is the difference between the two. Your executive directors are basically those who are involved with the day-to-day running of the business. Your non-executives oversees them. So this is just some differences. But make sure, refer to your theory booklet as well, so that you can see the difference between executive and non-executive and what is the roles and responsibilities of the directors. Looking at the bookkeeping process, directors are paid a fee. Now, very important. They are appointed by the shareholders. It's an operating expense which is closed off to the profit and loss account. It does not form part of the salaries and wages. The God principle materiality is applied here. It is important for the shareholders to know what the directors earn. And if it forms part of your salaries and wages, it's not possible to say, but of that, what does the directors earn? So this is why we show it separately. So when directors are paid, it means that bank will be credited, directors' fees is debited. The effect on the accounting equation is assets minus and owner's equity minus. Always remember, if we have an unfavorable bank balance and bank overdraft, it means that my liabilities will increase if a payment is made. That bank overdraft will become more. If we have directors' fees still outstanding for this accounting period, then accrued expense is credited and your director's fees is debited. It still forms part of your expense for this accounting period. The effect on the accounting equation would now be owner's equity minus liabilities plus. If we paid our directors in advance, it means that this should be subtracted. It doesn't form part of my expense for this accounting period. GAAP matching principle is applied. This means directors' fees will now be credited, our expense will decrease, and prepaid expense will be debited. Effect on the accounting equation, assets plus owner's equity plus. Because our expense decrease, it will have a positive effect on the owner's equity. Looking at the activity, we have to show the effect on the accounting equation, calculate the total director's fees for this accounting period, and indicate how it will appear in the financial statements. So looking at the first transaction, paid the directors 30% of their fees for this year. Zondo was paid 90,000 and Globe 60,000. So I'm not going to show it individually. We are going to say in total, the director's fees was 90,000 plus 60,000. So the total is 150,000. Account debited, director's fees, account credited, bank, assets, owner's equity minus 150,000. Transaction number 2, provide the amounts owed to the directors in respect of the director's fees. So if 30% was already paid and the total director's fees for this accounting period equals 100%, it means that 70% is still outstanding. So we can say 150,000 divided by 30 times 70. Again, what is it that I want to calculate over what has been given? Effect on the accounting equation. Account debit, director's fees. It still forms part of my expense for this year. Account credit, accrued expense, owner's equity minus liabilities plus 350,000. To calculate the total director's fees for this accounting period, we've got different options now. The director's fees is closed off to the profit and loss account, which shows our expense for this accounting period. So that amounts to 500,000. So I can add the two together. Or you could have said 150,000 divided by 30 times 100. I want the full director's fees amount. Indicate how it will appear in the financial statements. Director's fees is an expense. So in my income statement, director's fees, 500,000. And in my balance sheet, the director's fee outstanding will appear in trade and other payables, accrued expense, 350,000. Thank you very much. This now concludes all the new transactions relating to companies. So what we're going to look at in our last activity is we are going to combine all of this together so that you can see how it could possibly be asked in a test or an exam. I want to leave you with this quote: learning is a treasure that will follow its owner everywhere. I hope you have a wonderful day.